Good morning. I remember when I was in high school, I took a class that exposed me, opened me up to a whole new world. I was chosen to be part of the yearbook staff for 2 years, for my junior year and my senior year. And it was a mixed class, so we had juniors and seniors in that class together. And I loved that class, not just because of the excitement and the opportunity for artistic expression in the yearbook, but also for the way it expanded my world as far as people. Now, when you're anything but a senior in high school, seniors rule, right? Seniors are such a big deal, even in their own minds. But this was a great opportunity. And the next exciting thing, besides being able to have a mixed class with juniors and seniors, was the opportunity to be able to go to a high school dance. So here I was in the fall of my first class as yearbook on the committee, and one of the fellows in the class asked me to go to homecoming dance. I was 16, he was 17. Very exciting. And my mom helped me find a dress, and we got some makeup going, and it was very exciting. We found shoes, and really simple, but, had to dress up. This was a high school dance. The only one in my life to that point. Everything's critical in high school. Well, we went to the dance, and I had a great time. We mostly hung out with his friends, which meant all seniors. There was humor and talking and laughter and a whole different way, I thought, of looking at the world. So I came home so happy, so excited, so eager for what this relationship might become. It was just a friendship. Still, you never know. So he called the next morning. I thought, this is so great. So I said, I had so much fun. I hope you did too. I said, how are you? And he said, I'm good. He said, yeah, I had a good time too. He says, can I talk to your sister? My sister. Not me. My sister. My younger sister. Yes, okay, here, let me get her. Here's the phone. I hand it off to my sister thinking, what the heck? How in the world did I misgauge that evening? What did I do wrong? And I pondered that for quite a while. Like, that was a big deal to me. And if we apply that to our own lives today, to your life, you've had experiences like that, where you had an expectation, a hope. You thought something really went well, and somebody else goes, not so much. Depending on the importance of their place in our lives, in your life, the weight of their presence in your life determines potentially how much importance you give to what they've said. This played around in my head for the rest of high school and a little bit into my early 20s. If I wasn't enough for Greg Benino, how could I be enough for others? Was I just kidding myself when I thought I was enough for myself? Do you find yourself carrying around memories of short communications, of quick expressions where someone has determined something for you or about you that you've clung to, even at this point in your life? And for many of us, if we've turned this over long enough, we start to believe it. We start to believe what they've said, that we aren't enough, that we don't measure up. And then when we start to think about the divine, it pollutes our thinking even further. If I'm not enough for Greg Benino, how could I possibly be enough for God? Do you find yourself like with that gnawing thought in the back of your head? Is God just putting me on? Is God just loving me because God has to love me, right? Like, what's God gonna do? God already made me, so, oh well, God's stuck with me. If that's what you find yourself considering at times, and I'm not saying we don't all go in and out of that during our lifetime, but if that's sort of the main way you think of your relationship with the divine, it's time for a pivot. God's heart, God's love, God's understanding of you, God's knowledge of you is so much greater than any one human being's knowledge, understanding, capacity. So today, go out on a limb. Start to sit directly and speaking with God. Sit in God's presence. Lay it before God and say, I struggle with this. And sometimes I think you think of me this way, and I need your help to break the cycle of thinking that I'm not enough for you. Because I'm telling you, you are. You're enough to the point where God would come to this planet so that you would know God. And God died for you so that you would believe the intensity and immensity of God's love for you.